everyone, I'm Gucci Westman, and today we are going to recreate this really beautiful, flattering, makeup that I would suggest is really great for more mature skin. Have you ever wondered how do you achieve that sort of skin that looks like it's not makeup-y, it's not cosmetic, but it's enhanced and it's a better version of itself? I'm going to show you how to do it today. It's really easy, it's intuitive, it's fast, it feels great. If you have any concerns, if you have redness, if you have enlarged pores, if you have fine lines, we're going to talk about all those things, and I'm going to show you how to create just the right makeup for all of those concerns for us mature girls. So where do you start? What I really have embraced is this kind of term pro-aging. And it's inevitable. We're gonna age, right? We're gonna age. And I just think it's how do you do it gracefully? How do you do it in an educated way where you feel like you're making the right decisions, you're using the right products, and you're making the best of it?
One of the good things I think about age is I actually just want to look fresh and lovely. It's not like I need to fix everything.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to use less and better ways for my face the way it is.
You wanna kind of like respond to what your face is currently wanting and needing, right?
Yeah.
And I think that our brand is you've come to the right place, because Westman Atelier really, all of our products it's really skincare that does makeup. So for example, you have a little bit of redness, and I have rosacea, which I talk about all the time, and it's frustrating. But in essence, I think it was such an incredible catalyst for me to differentiate our brand from other brands, because we really focus on the skincare benefits, and at serious levels. It's not just marketing levels.
Yeah, because removing the red is one of the, if you're thinking about the two things I want to do when I go out of the house in the morning, it would be, the red.
So our complexion drops are phenomenal. So the main ingredient in the complexion drops is called Tsubaki oil, and Tsubaki oil is one of the most exclusive, one of the most expensive ingredients on the market. It's cold pressed oil from the Japanese camellia flower. And really it's one of those just perfect ingredients that everybody wants, because it does so much. So it resurfaces, it firms, brightens, it tightens your skin, it increases collagen production, reduces your pores, and really it focuses on redness and inflammation. And we've also included a proprietary blend that protects you against pollution and blue light, which is really nice to know. Yeah. In addition to long-term hydration, I feel quite good about this formula for you. So look, I'm going to use Vital Skincare Complexion Drops in 5 on you today. And I'm gonna use our liquid blender brush because it's such a lovely feeling. And you could start, if you wanted to do a skincare routine first, but you don't necessarily need to, because this is skincare that does makeup. So I'm just taking down your redness.
Feels like you're putting a skincare product on my face.
It's very weightless, right? It's like lovely. A really bouncy, cushiony serum that makes your skin look juicy, and brings you back that kind of elasticity without the fuss. For more mature skin, it's important to not work with products that have too much coverage. So Prue, I'm gonna give you a little bit of warmth, because I really, really believe that creating authenticity in the coloration of the skin and dimension and all those things really also brings you that ability to kind of freshen up your skin, remove the redness, add color back in where you like it. So you're gonna see, I think you're really gonna like what we do, and it's gonna feel like you. Okay, so I'm using our Beauty Butter Bronzer in Coup de Soleil, and this is really gonna pop your beautiful blue eyes as well. And the way I do bronzer is I kind of go over the eyelids, under the eye.
Yeah, I don't really do that. That's actually a really great tip to.
Well, it just looks more like your skin could be bronzed, as opposed to that you did your makeup to be bronzed, because if you think about like how do kids look in the summer, and it's more like they look like they get a bit on their eyelid, a bit under their eye, and It's just that there's nothing makeup-y about it, and I like that. I've always liked that. So look, I'm going under her eyes, but obviously not tons, but I'm just sort of lifting your skin tone a bit, giving you some warmth. And I'm gonna give you some of our Vital Press skincare powder in your nasal labial where you don't want to be oily. You want to be radiant, but you don't want to be oily. So now I'm going to give you a bit of contour using Face Trace in Biscuit, finding your cheekbone and giving you a subtle contour. And you don't want, too much. It depends on the shape of your face and things like that, but it's nice to have some definition, that looks like it could be your cheekbone. So really it's about, kind of just your technique, your touch, the amount you apply. It's not a heavy application. You can feel it's super light, and just being really intentional with where your placement is. It's not technical. It's like, now I'm making it sound a little scary, but it's really so easy. Everything's made to be intuitive. Giving a little definition here. It's like these subtle things that you can't.
I know, I'm excited about the definition on the nose, because your nose changes shape as well.
No kidding. I never used to contour my nose, now I can't leave home without it. I'm using just the eyeshadow one brush here. And I'm using Truffle for your nose. So I have to give you a little bit of Peau de Pêche, super loaded tinted highlights. So this is it's kind of a 3-in-1. It's kind of like warm, highlight, and definition all in one. And it's a really beautiful kind of bronzy, peachy color. So it's made to just kind of envelop your cheek. Gives you more of a refined finish. And this is the blender brush, which is made for this product. It's kind of like it envelops your cheek. It makes it so easy, especially for people who are like, I don't know how to do that. Makes it like, oh, I do know how to do that. And it's not difficult one single bit. Okay, so I'm using Vital Skin Foundation Stick in Atelier 3. I use our Vital Skin Foundation Stick as a concealer. So yeah. It's perfect. I go in, and I get those areas, if it's redness, if it's little spots, if it's pigmentation. I just like to go in there with my spot checking brush, under eye foundation brush, and that way I can just really also maintain that skin feel so it doesn't look too, like there's too much coverage, but I still am able to make the skin look super even and beautiful. And the spot checking brush is like a brush that I can't do without. So we really reduced that redness to nothing pretty much. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of our Vital Press skincare powder in translucent just to reduce the oil before I add any pop of color. So this is really gorgeous because look here, I want to show you. So it really eliminates, as you said, people are scared of powder, but look at how beautiful and how it's just this gorgeous, soft, velvety veil that's weightless and that is filled with probiotic, brightening vitamin C. It's such a nice formula and it looks so pretty. So I can go over, the cheek. I can go over anywhere I want and still maintain the radiance that I want, but it's not, greasy looking. Okay, so I'm actually going to use Pop It on you, which is not a color I would use on me. Yeah, but it's going to be very pretty, and it's a really nice bluish pink. And I'm just kind of going over the apple of your cheek. I'm going kind of like a horizontal, oval sort of shape here on Prue. But, volume, creating volume is more sort of like, you think of youthful flush. So I would avoid then contour if you want to create more of like, a I would say like rosy, peaches and cream kind of skin, like Downton Abbey sort of skin, then I would not, you know, really go for contour. I would just go for that beautiful just rose. But look how pretty this is. So remember, I removed the redness where I didn't want it, and now I'm adding my pink back in. So I'm gonna use iPods on you and Les Jours. So these are the 3 shades, so it's super easy. You have chocolate, chocolat, tabac, and neige. So the trick with iPods is you just have to work past this initial seal, but it's really nice because there's no fallout. There's no silicone. It's not a cream, it's not a powder, it's kind of like in between those two. And it's super bouncy, and it's so nice when you spend all this time on your skin that you're not gonna ruin it by adding eyeshadow that then falls out all over your skin. So just sweeping across your lid. Again, I want to enhance your eye color. I'm just kind of like working on enhancing her eye color, so I'm sweeping across Prue's lid. Just soft, not graphic, kind of like a soft, translucent, smoky eye. But it's not gonna feel too makeup-y. And it's nice also because it's so soft and it's not gonna like feel like it's sitting in, you know, those fine lines, yeah. Because of the texture, because it's so cushiony and bouncy.
It does feel really soft going on.
Wow, look at Prue's ready to go. I'm gonna give a little bit of tabac, close for a sec, which is a really pretty kind of bronzy shade, warm bronze that I'm just adding to the middle of your lid, just to give some, like a little bit of an accent, like lift up the color a bit. Kind of add some dimension into the color. You know what, you can use actually a sort of a wet brush if you want more pigment. Michelle Pfeiffer loves iPods, and she's like, oh, you have to wet the brush. Why don't you do that in your videos? And I'm like, okay, I will. Now I'm giving you a tiny bit of highlight in your tear duct area with neige, just to kind of like create some space between your eyes. So ideally your brow should start, if you hold this pencil from the tip of your nose straight up, that's where your eyebrows should begin, you know? And some of us tweezed our brows when we were younger and then they just don't grow back. I don't know if you had that, Prue, but I did. Yeah. So I'm just adding.
You never think that's gonna happen.
I know. I'm adding little, like, I'm sort of drawing on little hair-like strokes here. And this is a lighter shade. This is clay, but I think it's nice and soft. And you know, you can, I like also fuller, more natural brows. I never really like brows that feel drawn on and, you know, but you can really have, this is such a easy product to use because it's like a really buttery yet firm texture, so it really lays down easily. Plus the shape of the sword is, the bullet is so nice, so easy to work with. So I'm just working on adding some hairs back in here, just so it looks naturalistic. And clay is a good shade for, you know, for you with your hair color, and it looks soft. You don't want it to be too dark. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you a bit mascara. I love you, mascara. I just wanna give your lashes definition, but I don't wanna make it too lashy. You know, I want it to feel more kind of like a naturalistic enhanced version of Prue. Okay, I'm gonna go with Les Nude, and I'm gonna go with Van Rouge. Open a little. And it's kind of like a really pretty, just like just had some red wine. Yeah. No, just kidding. But, you know, just like a stain, and I'm just using my fingers, and I'm going a little bit slightly over your lip line. And you can do that with this sort of texture and color, and you just kind of pat it in, and you create a little bit of volume using your fingers. Actually, I'm going to use the brush a little bit now. You can close. I want to create like an idea of a little bit more volume on the top lip, so I'm just kind of like doing that with the brush. You know, kind of like you would with the lip liner, but I'm doing it and I'm adding a little bit of the Dusty Rouge. Yeah. You know, you lose the definition more than anything. It becomes more and more diffused. So it's, you know, tricky because you don't want to like necessarily use a super pigmented formula because you don't want it to like then start disappearing and looking too harsh and too long lasting. So it's almost better to use, you know, I would suggest this texture for you, Prue Les Nude, because it's more of a sheer texture, and I've enhanced the volume of your lip, but it's not gonna really look crazy when you start, if you eat or something, you know what I mean? So it's a little like easier. So for powder, you could go with, you know, pink bubble, you could go with translucent, which I did, or you could go with creme for your skin tone. Okay, so Garçon, this is our Squeaky Clean Liquid Lip Balm. So it's a really nice treatment, heavy, balmy, gelified oil formula that just is nice because it has a little bit of, this is like sort of like lip color. It's called Garçon, it's my favorite shade, and it's just kind of just gives your lips a little bit of juiciness. Without looking like glossy and, you know? So I think we might be done.
Do I get to look now?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Look at my skin. My skin is looking, oh, thank you.
Tell me what do you think?
So I'm loving how even everything is, and I am still a little bit blown away by the fact that I'm wearing that color blush because I don't do
But it's
that.
so pretty, right?
It's great, yeah. I'm loving how that looks. Oh, Gucci, this is so exciting.
Oh, but it's nice because it feels appropriate. It feels like you, but it feels kind of like just, you know, a little more something. Thank you so much for taking the time and hanging out with myself and Prue while we play around with some makeup that works really well for mature skin. And I hope these tips help and you try it at home, and I want to hear what you think. All right, well, thank you guys, and thank you so much, Prue. That was such a treat.
Thank you.